Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching episode 52 of my Mystery Monthly Minis. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. Welcome to episode 52 of my Mystery Monthly Minis. If you've seen this before and you know it works, then you can just skip straight forward to the tasting. Otherwise, the way this works is I have over 100 samples in my sample collection and my wife has picked one at random. She's put it into a blue Glencairn glass and I'll nose it, I'll taste it, I'll tell you if I like it, and I'll have a stab at what I think it is. This is just for fun, so sometimes I get it right and sometimes I get it wrong. Should we find out what I'm tasting? On to the whiskey. If you'd like to play along with me and find out what's in my glass when I do, then just keep watching. Otherwise, take a look in the description now for a sneak peek. Let's start with the nose. Okay, so I'm not getting much to start. Definitely some like barrel char. Some malted barley, vanilla, but yeah, this isn't giving away much at all. Not sure if I'm getting a hint of smoke. But yeah, on the nose, this is quite deceptive. I think we're going to have to move on to the palate already. Let's take a sip. Okay, so that was a little bit hotter than I was expecting. I think it's reminding me of bourbon. I'm getting lots of charred oak. I'm getting some cherry. I'm getting some menthol. I'm getting quite sort of dry wood. Lots of tannic dry wood. This might be an old bourbon if it is, you know, something with a decent amount of age. But yeah, very woody, very oaky, very drying, but not unpleasant. It's just yeah, punchy. Let's have another sip. It reminds me of a flavour that I've had before. Something about the sort of strong oak character in this. The not overly fruity flavours. And it definitely isn't overly sweet. That drying texture on the palate. It's yeah, it's reminding me of something, but I can't think what at this stage. It definitely comes across as slightly over oaked. I would be fairly certain it is a bourbon or American whiskey. I think this is probably primarily a corn-based whiskey. But I'm not entirely sure at this stage. Let's have one final sip. Yeah, I think I've just remembered what it reminds me of. I think it reminds me of Old Forester Statesman, which was an Old Forester which was released in collaboration with a film. But I owned a bottle of that, and I'm pretty certain I don't own a sample of that, or I don't have a sample of that. And I'm pretty certain I don't have any Old Forester, but that's what it's reminded me of. So I do think it's possibly an some sort of bourbon that's possibly, you know, made in a certain way, like it's aged particularly long, or it's double oaked or something like that, or, you know, extra char, something that's making this quite dry. But yeah, other than that, possibly a bourbon from a big name, or something that's been aged in a certain or particular way, something that isn't, you know, obvious or run of the mill. Should we find out what's in my glass? Right, so it's Americana single barrel wheated bourbon. It's 54.4% ABV, and it came to me as part of my Whisky Pioneer subscription. So yeah, obviously I wasn't expecting it to be a wheated bourbon. ABV wise, obviously it did hit a little hard, but I wouldn't have thought it was as low as 54.4. I would have thought it was potentially even higher than that. But yeah, I did get an Americana as part of my Somerton whiskey subscription, but this is a different one. This isn't their standard bourbon. This was their wheated bourbon. It's a bit of me thinking it was from MGP. I can't remember exactly, but it's it's definitely a tasty bourbon. This being a single barrel, obviously it's limited quantity, and there's probably none of it available. But yeah, it really is an interesting bourbon. I'm glad I picked it as a bourbon, and probably never be able to buy it again. So I'll enjoy the rest in my glass and take my time. Hopefully you found that interesting, and hopefully you come back for some more soon. Stauncher.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.